Now let's become a little philosophical than scientific, and let's discuss the philosophical perspective of this leadership. I want to explore another dimension about leadership. Philosophically, who are leaders and what is leadership? So a lot of people want to become leaders, but I don't think anybody should try hard to become leaders. It's quite artificial and it's not natural actually. Remember, it's not about you wanting to become a leader or someone want to become a leader because of a certain things that you have done within yourself or a certain level of observation, experience, intelligence you have, you are able to see something that most other people can't see. So at the moment you are able to see something that most people are not able to see or understand, and then other people will naturally recognize you as a leader because you are seeing something on behalf of them, representing them. You are doing something on behalf of them, so that's why they recognize as a leader. So in this leadership context, if someone is able to see something and do something that others cannot do, so everybody wishes he must take charge of the situation because naturally he will be able to do something that the others will not able to do. So what are the qualities of leadership then? We have discussed 12 leadership qualities so far. So according to this philosophical viewpoint, what are the qualities of leadership? In simple words, these qualities mean the qualities required to see something or to do something that others cannot do, that others cannot see. Am I correct? Yes. It is that simple principle. So leadership is like sitting on a mountain top where you can see everything from a higher position with a wider angle and using a broad visual field. Then you see better and clearer than others. The so-called mountaintop is nothing but your own mindset, your own personality, and your own conscience. So if you can make up your mindset, personality, and conscience in a way where you can see everything in a broad angle than others, then you will be naturally raised up as a leader and you will be naturally put on the top of that mountain. Understand? Yes. Remember here, I have used the word personality. Personality of any individual means kind of enduring characteristics and behavior that comprises a person's unique adjustment to life. So these unique adjustments to life, personality, have some main components. These include interests, values, attitudes, and behaviors. So in addition to these four major components, there are some minor components as well, like self-concepts, abilities, emotional patterns, and interests, all together make a unique person who are adjusted to their own life, making a personality. So it is not about you want him to sit on that top of the mountain as far as the philosophical viewpoint of the leadership is concerned, but you want it to see something better than others. You want to see something bigger picture than others. So that quality will raise you to that higher point. So the universal quality of a leader in a philosophical viewpoint means his sense of life is beyond himself. So he can see, he can sense everything in a broad angle much more better than their colleagues, subordinates. So in that context, it's not about his sense of identity. It's not about his paper qualifications. It's not about his degrees, diplomas, or anything beyond him, but his sense of life only that make him a leader. So, if you have above leadership qualities, either inborn or acquired, you will naturally become a leader, as I explained. Right. So in this background, so there's a concept called shortcuts for leadership. So there are so many ways to become a leader. Top manager. If you want to become a leader, still there are many other ways to become leaders, isn't it? Like most people do. You can get elected and you can pull other people down and become a leader, and even you can go after much senior leaders as devotees and can become leaders, isn't it? Yes. Or simply, people will raise you naturally as a leader, which is the sustainable way to become a leader. But remember, you can work and train on it by learning and training to improve your leadership qualities to become a leader, because they see that either you are able to see something or you are able to do something better than them, better than others. So that's why, due to this phenomenon, in any organization, it's natural to have official leaders and unofficial leaders both. So imagine about somebody who sits on the so-called mountain top, but he or she doesn't see anything better than you, better than subordinates, better than other members. What will happen? That person will be a nuisance to others, isn't it? Yes. The most conflicting phenomenon is emergence of natural or unofficial leaders among the subordinates, as I mentioned earlier, because there may be people under him who can see things better than him. Those might be supportive to the official leader or might even be non-supportive, depending on the degree of differences between their personalities. So, the emergence of unofficial or unauthorized leaders in an organization is natural. So we can't prevent, we can't stop that kind of thing, except in armed forces. So armed forces are run by very tough rules and regulations. But in our setup, healthcare setup, we don't see such tough rules and regulations. So union leaders, social leaders, religious extremes, and that kind of natural leaders exists. So in that case, the official leader should give the due respect to that person because he's one of the natural leaders. The official leader should have the common sense to deal with such natural leaders in a friendly manner to get their support to their leadership journey. Then, you can avoid conflicts of interest within that organization, and you can maintain the harmony without conflict and disharmony. So that is the lesson you have to learn from this philosophical component of this seminar. Other important thing is natural, outstanding, great leaders are not selfish. I'm not talking about the leaders who have fulfilled paper qualifications and the expertness of the field, who become artificially and sit on the top of the mountain. I'm not talking about them. Of course, most of such people are also not selfish, but natural leaders are born as non-selfish people. Person becomes a leader because he or she is willing to think and feel and act for more people around him than himself. That's why he becomes a leader. For example, if you act for yourself, you will be considered as a self-centered person. But if you act or think, or if you decided to think and act on behalf of entire organization, on behalf of entire nation, or even on behalf of entire world, you will be looked at in a different way by others and will be recognized as a leader. So leaders always think about others, even more than himself. In that case, essentially, your leadership will come from the right context, depending upon what you are identified with. So, what sort of identity you have taken and you have decided today will determine your final destination. So if you have decided today to become a leader to your organization, that mindset, that identity, that your thinking pattern will definitely manifest in few months' time, maybe few years' time within your organization, and you will definitely be a leader in that particular organization. So the first step you have to take is the identification of yourself as a leader by you yourself. So in that context, leadership is something that each of can individually manifest. We can manifest that leadership. Why I am telling like this? So if you read the life stories of great leaders, you can get confirmed this fact. So all these great leaders have that instinct or internal burning requirement, burning vision inside their subconscious mind to become a leader, to sit on the top of the mountain. That mindset itself manifests after some time in their life to make him a leader. So that is a true phenomenon. The scientific explanation for this leadership manifestation is manifestation using the neuroplasticity of your brain. So you all know about your brain since you all are professionals working in the healthcare industry. So if you elaborate a little bit more about this neuroplasticity and how it helps us to manifest our leadership journey and goals. Remember, neuroplasticity is one dimension of leadership quality development in individuals to create better leaders. So it is the ability of your brain to form new neuronal connections inside your brain, and your brain's ability to modify itself as a reaction to new experience, as a reaction to new learning, as a reaction to new training or information. So, whenever you get new experience, learning and training for a considerable time period, due to this neuroplasticity nature of your brain will modify, rewire consistently itself, and it will modify their connections. Remember, then it can modify your cognitive and intellectual activities as well in your brain. Then you can see that it modifies both the structure and the function of your brain, which is then little difficult to reverse even. So the good news is this is a permanent brain modification. So if you practice your leadership qualities for more than 3 or 4 months, due to this neuroplasticity, you will achieve spontaneously a brain status, something little closer to some kind of spiritual development where nobody can't reverse it back. Once you have achieved that point, it's like achieving a kind of an enlightenment. Once you become a leader, nobody can't change your neuroplasticity, changes in your brain. So it's like learning a new language. It's like practicing music, right? Likewise, you can manifest and produce good brain for good leadership. You are producing, you are manufacturing good brain for good leadership. So it's your brain which ultimately make you a good leader. So remember, the initial training period is little difficult, but once you achieve to some status like enlightenment, it's kind of a spiritual achievement. So you will feel that difference and you will be emotionally free, like emotionally detached, a leader. Got it? Yes. So now then, having explained about this philosophical background and the philosophical dimension of the leadership, let's discuss a little bit more about some ways to improve your leadership skills.